What's up, everybody? Got another Bible review for you guys. Just a quick note, if you love Bible reviews, go to this watermark down here and you'll see a little subscribe tab. Hover over it and you can click subscribe to the channel. I do tons of reviews and just really be excited to have you as a subscriber. So anyway, this is the Allan New King James single column in brown goat skin. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful Bible. Let's take a look at it. Comes in that nice, traditional blue box from Allan. Let me show you. Of course, it's the same box you would normally find. Allan, there you go. And we'll set that back here. This edition is printed and bound by Youngblood. It's a really interesting story as well. And I'll show you that when we get to the publication page. As per the norm, Allan does their tooled ribs on the spine. And you can see the New King James Version on the spine, Allan and Holy Bible on top and bottom. It also has the double tooled line on the exterior perimeter. You also have the interior gilt line on the inside, with the beautiful folded corners and nice yap. It's a decent amount of yap. It's more than their typical yap on, but this is a thicker Bible, so it makes sense for it to have a little more yap. This is 1.5 inches thick. It's a thick Bible. It's single column, so most single columns are going to be thicker because you have more pages. You have more text. Less text can fit in a single column page than on a double column. So it's going to be a bigger Bible. This is a little over 9 inches tall and a little more than 6 inches wide. So it's about standard height and width, but the thickness is about 1.5 inches, and it's pretty heavy. I mean, it's about 3 pounds or more. It's nice size, but it is a beast. It's a beast of a New King James Version. So anyway, it's not. I mean, it's really beautiful. Very flexible and nice. You can see the end sheet matches the nice brown calfskin liner. You have some pages of cardstock at the start of it, and then you get to your presentation page. You have like 5 or 6 pages of cardstock for notes and stuff. Your presentation page and your records and stuff like that. Those are really typical in a heirloom type Bible like this. And this is printed. All right, now this is a really cool story. This is a Nelson block. Okay, this is printed and bound, at least the block, in the Netherlands by Youngblood for Schuyler in the U.S. So it's pretty crazy that originally these blocks were made for Schuyler Bibles. Really nice. I mean, they're beautiful. But I think that was about the time they were talking about doing the New King James Quintel. So evidently, R.L. Allan scooped up all these awesome blocks and put them to good use in these editions. So I'm very thankful for that. So you can see all the publication information there. Pause it if you need to. Check it out. So you have your contents page. And then you get to your preface of the New King James Version. And then it gets to the Old Testament. Now this single column text is it says a 10.5 point font, but it really reads more like an 11. I mean, or even larger. I mean, it reads like a much larger print, and it might be larger than a 10.5, but that's at least what the specs say, 10.5. It does have some ghosting because it's not line matched. And the paper is a 32 GSM paper instead of a 36. So you have a little more ghosting than you'd probably like. These editions run about $185. I mean, they're not cheap. So I can understand why you would just have to love this layout to spend that kind of money on the edition. Because there are other New King James editions out there with less ghosting and line matching and all kinds of stuff like that. So, and I'll do another comparison video with a couple other New King James editions to show you the differences. But that'll be a different video. You can also see the beautiful red art gilding, red under gold, and that's just nicely done. Youngblood does a great job with that. This single column text is very readable, very nice. It is a black letter text, and you don't have any references. So it's very similar to what they call the heritage layout, where it's a non-reference edition. The only issue I might have is the verse numbers are not in bold. They kind of blend in with the text, so it might be hard to find your place on a big text like this, a single column text. Without having those verse numbers stand out, you could lose your place easily. So that's one of my only critiques. As we turn, you can see the beautiful gold 10mm Beresford ribbons and the white head and tail bands. It's a beautiful edition. I mean, it's really, really nice. Like I said, my only critiques would be the lack of line matching, which if you line match this, it would be an even thicker edition. So I'm sure that was weighed in should we or shouldn't we line match kind of thing when they were doing the Nelson layout. So, and that might have been why Schuyler didn't use this block in the end, because they would rather have done their own with the 2K Denmark font and all that good stuff. So anyway, as we turn through, it's a really smooth turner. I mean, really, there's no crinkle in the gutter. It is amazing. This thing is beautiful. The paper feels amazing. That Youngblood paper is really great. I do like the thicker paper, but this 32 GSM is not terrible. It's not as thin as the 28 GSM that they've done for several other editions. And the ghosting's not terrible all the time. It's very readable. Like I said, the font size says a 10.5, but it reads more like 11 or 11.5. Very readable, very nicely done. Here we're in John. You can see it's a black letter text. And I'll show you the back before we end. Let me get to the concordance. Revelation 22. You have your read through the Bible in a year plan, which is a daily plan. Like I said, in other reviews, I use when I do have a Bible reading plan, I do a 5 and 2, 5 on, 2 off reading plan. This is every single day, which will give you a little less to read a day. But you're also going through it chronologically, or at least in order, instead of reading in some in the old, some in the new each day. You are reading some in the old, some in the new once you get to June. I'm sorry, you do that from the beginning. You read a lot more in the Old Testament, a little bit in the New, all the way through. That's my fault. Sorry about that. And it goes all the way through the last day of the year, where you read Revelation 22 and Malachi 1 through 4. All right, you have 30 Days with Jesus is a really cool reading plan. You have a 90-day overview of the Bible, so it kind of gives you a larger overview of the Bible in 90 days if you followed that reading plan. You have passages for Christmas season, which is a really cool feature in here. You also have passages for the Easter season. Then you get to your concordance of the New King James Version, and it's pretty good size. You can see it goes all the way. It's probably about 100 pages. Well, maybe more like 60, 70 pages. Yeah, there you go. 1,800 pages total. Then you have some white paper. Some nice, you could almost create your own index in this section. You have a few Bible maps on Bible paper. Hallelujah. Full page. I do like having the white margin around some of the maps where you can write some notes, but I guess you could write the notes on the actual map. It just might get lost a little bit unless you used a dark color But they are really nice maps. I love the color. I love that they're printed on Bible paper. Really cool stuff. Then you have your lined paper. Okay, so it's a lot of lined paper, which is great. That's one of the huge benefits of the Allan Bibles. Almost all of them. There's only been a couple that I've seen come without lined paper. That's a huge feature, a beautiful addition to the Bible. And then you have your card stock in the back as well. So tons of, this Bible's meant to be written in, meant to be used. You can also see the printing Allan binding by Royal Youngblood, and in the back on the liner. And this goat skin is a Youngblood goat skin, of course. Very similar to the goat skin used in the NASB reader that is printed and bound by Youngblood. Very similar goat skin, as well as the Crossway heirloom editions. They're all printed and bound by, or most of them are printed and bound. At least all of them are bound by Youngblood with the same kind of goat skin as well. So really great goat skin covers. And that's about all I can really show you. I am going to do a couple comparison videos with this single column New King James and a couple other New King James editions. So if you're a New King James fan and you love it, I'm going to make another video showing you a few other editions and where your best value might be found. Again, if you like Bible reviews, consider subscribing to the channel. I think you'll be happy you did, because I do a ton of reviews. I have over 400 videos in my channel, and you can always find, if not the Bible you're looking to find out information about, is something similar. And I'm doing more reviews every week. So please click subscribe, and you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. And thanks guys for watching, and God bless.